Hey, dougupstone here for Doc Sports, and I am back with a free play. Not going to be the free plays that you're used to seeing, that's for sure. This will be a little bit different because there's no major games going on today, and there wouldn't be with or without the COVID because I think the original schedule had the MAC games on Wednesday, which was typically the day before Thanksgiving, but that's out too this year. So we're going to talk a little college basketball for our free pick, and there's a free pick to go along with it. Hey, you know what? I'm the first to admit free plays did not do as well the last week as I expected and probably as you expected. But you know what? When you do basically free plays every single day, you're gonna have weeks, you're gonna have streaks where things don't go well, and you're gonna have streaks when things do go well. So it's part of the deal, it's part of the game. If you're not happy with them, my apologies, but you know what? It's just if you're into sports betting, this is just all part of what goes on. On the other side of the and by the way, they are free picks. Okay, like I said, I try to win every single free pick just like I do regular picks, but they're not my top plays. Let's just get that out there and be clear on that. Now, my best bets, for example, this past week, I had a 7, 6, and a 5 unit play, and I hit all three. That's right. I had the Pittsburgh Panthers as a 6 unit play, had the Cleveland Browns as a 7 unit play, and Monday night had the Los Angeles Rams as a 5 unit play. Nailed all those for the week, ended up 6-3, up almost $1,700 profit based on units. So just a quick recap of where we're at. 39-23 the last 7 weeks in football. That's good for $59.90 in terms of profit. College football the last 6 weeks, 23-10. 23-10. 50, I believe that's a little over $5,000 profit on that one. And the NFL, even though it went 2-2, still ended up because of the units, had the stronger plays. They both won. 23-16, up $4,000 in profit. So football is going great. College basketball starting. I am the first to admit I did not have a good year in college basketball last year. I have in the previous years. Okay, I've had a number of top 10 finishes at various monitors, and I believe I was up like $3,800 not in 2019, but in 2018. Okay, as I just said, 2019 was not a great year for me in college basketball, and that's why I during the whole COVID introduction for all of us, or the coronavirus as it was more commonly known back then, I spent a lot of time going over the various games, see what I did wrong. I think I got some things that I got corrected, and am expecting a winning season. And I would expect you should expect it from me as well. Okay, so I'm going to try and turn that around. Had a fine NBA season. When that comes around, got to correct college basketball this year. All right, let's get to today's free play. It is a free play on who is going to win the Big Ten regular season. Now, we don't know, for example, exactly how that's going to be. So in terms of winning it, most places I've checked that have the odds on this say who will be the number 1 seed, okay, for the postseason tournament. Because not everybody's probably going to play the same amount of games. There's going to be some discrepancies, just like there is in football. So that's what it is. Who's going to win who's going to be the number 1 seed in the in the Big Ten this upcoming season because of unbalanced schedules and even star players potentially being out, and when making a future bet like this, trying to figure out what star players are going to potentially get sick. Hey, you know what? There's no way of knowing. Just like you don't know when you pull it out of the garage exactly what's going to happen today. Okay, so it's just things are going to happen, but we're going to roll with the punches just like we did the whole football season. We're used to it now. So first up is the team that everybody's looking at to win the conference is Iowa, and they have the top player in the conference in Luka Garza. Now, I think Iowa's still going to be a strong team. I think there definitely will be a contender, but the problem's going to be the same for them. As always, a lack of defense. It's just not a priority. The priority for the Hawkeyes with their coaching staff is scoring, okay, more so the defense. I'm not saying they don't try and play defense. I'm just saying the emphasis is not on playing defense. Conversely, at Wisconsin and Michigan State, the emphasis is definitely on defense. I mean, that's priority number 1 with both those schools. Wisconsin definitely is no question a contender. I believe they're tied for second in terms of odds behind Iowa. And Michigan State's a little bit further back because they got some newer players, some freshman players, some younger players that will take time to develop. Both offenses will develop for the Badgers and the Spartans as the season goes along. I'm firmly convinced of that. So we'll see. And I think they're going to be right there at the end, okay? But the team that I think that's going to win the Big Ten, okay, and be the number 1 seed is the Illinois Fighting Illini. Yes, indeed. This team has the most talent in the conference, okay? IU, I'm gonna mess this up. IU DeSumo, yes, that's it. IU DeSumo is a top 10 NBA pick, okay? Guy's super talented. He can score from literally anywhere. He's just a really good player. I really like him. And in fact, most people were surprised he came back for his junior year, but he did. Okay, so hats off to him for wanting to do that. And I think part of it, he wants to do something special for Illinois. Kofi Cockburn is a top 10 guy in the pivot, okay, in all of college basketball. He is a very strong player in the center, big body, 7 feet tall. He's rough to handle in the paint. He's going to be a force for the Illini this year. And they've added freshman Adam Miller, who is an elite scorer. So that takes some of the pressure off both those guys. But at the same time, with Miller, they don't need him to score. Okay, he's the other guy that they can have put in the points. And the thing that I like about him too is the reports that I have read across the board in terms of his attitude. He has a great attitude and is more than willing to play defense. Okay, so I think that's a big help. Illinois is I wouldn't call Illinois an elite defensive team, but one thing that they do is that they turn the ball over and convert that into points. So they'll get their stops. Again, I'm not saying, I don't think they're in Michigan State or Wisconsin's category, but when you look at the full package here of their ability to score points, star power, and play good enough defense, I think this is the most versatile team in the Big Ten that I think is going to be the choice to win the Big Ten Conference. And so I'd take the plus 350 odds, okay, for Illinois to be the champion of the Big Ten. So there's today's free play. I should be back tomorrow with a college basketball play. That's right, college basketball starts on Wednesday. How good is that? So let's get that started. Yeah, there's some issues with some other things, but let's get it started. Let's see what happens. We know we've seen from football what's going to happen. There's going to be no surprises. I don't believe in college basketball. We're just going to have to deal with it. So there you have it. So hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with a college basketball play, a free play, and we'll see if we can get that one done. So this is Doug Upstone for Doc Sports. Until next time, I'm out.